Agent, hello. Time marches on. Well, at least it used to. Redacted. I won't beat around the bush. Time itself is in trouble. Our timeline is under attack. Time is being eaten by an entity that we have dubbed ECCO. The entity of chronological consumption of obfuscation. The entity has already consumed several years in their entirety. This year we are in now is one of the only left. We need you to track down ECCO, destroy it, and help us stabilize the timeline. Given the stakes of this mission, time protocol is entirely up to your discretion. Do not abuse this privilege. With this video, we have included some tools for your mission. This package, you will find an agent field planner and some era-appropriate currency. After the first jump, you'll be mostly on your own. We'll send help when we can. Good luck. Tempest and Teberus, Director 0214 from the agency Redacted. Signing off. Well, let's break it down then. Well, hi, hello, everybody. My name is Turk. Welcome back to the Grouch Couch. Around here, we do all different kinds of weird TTRPG things. But from what you've seen from the intro, I hope that turned out okay. Today, we're playing Project ECCO. This is a solo time travel game by Elliot Davis. Now, I've been so excited to get my hands on this and play this for so long. I've been following it. I'm really excited. I'm really into time travel. I think it's cool, and I think this game has some awesome mechanics. So today, I'm going to teach you how to play it, and then we're going to start playing it. Now, depending on what happens in today's episode, this could be a couple-part series, so make sure you leave a like, so if the next episode does drop, you don't miss it. And of course, right here at the top, I want to give a big shout out to +1 XP for sending this book over to me. They sent it over to me with a couple other ones. This is the only one I actually requested, and they sent it to me, and I just can't believe that they sent this book over to me. So big shout out to +1 XP. If you want to get this book for yourself, you can check out the link down in the description to get it, all right? Jeez, and this thing is just beautiful. So, with the obligatory YouTube jibber jabber out of the way, thank you so much for following me on this adventure. I know, I'm wearing a little tie today. Look, we're taking the time travel thing seriously, you know? And I mean, what? Obviously, I wouldn't fit in the 1950s with my nose ring and my nail polish, whatever. But you know what? We're still gonna have a good time in this video. So, without any other further ado, to the top-down camera. So, this game is really cool, and it requires you to use a couple of things, a couple of unique things that I don't really see other games require you to use, which is kind of fun, and we're going to get into that. I know I got this crazy baby blue year journal on the desk. We're going to talk about that in a second, but first, we're going to read through these awesome, amazing rules. First of all, the theming of this book is just so nice. It's black, white, and red, and I love that so much. I'm a big fan of it. So, let's get us a zoom going so you guys can see a little bit better. Project ECCO, this beautiful art here on the front is very good. This book is for anyone who feels like they are running out of time. We love that. So this was written and illustrated by Elliot Davis, very good. And of course he had some support from some other folks. This was published by More Blueberries, so shout out More Blueberries. I'm excited to play this, thank you. We got some special thanks here, table of contents. This is the intro bit that I read in the intro. It's actually formatted like they send you a letter, so some stuff in the intro might not make sense, but very cool stuff. Project ECCO is a solo role-playing game in which you'll play as an agent on a mission to track, understand, and destroy an entity of chronological consumption and obfuscation. ECCO, as named by the agency. Look, I don't know how you would say that there, ECCO, but I'm gonna call it ECCO, all right? But agents have come to refer it simply as the entity. In this game, you will travel through time across dates of a single year in pursuit of this being, discovering more about yourself and your employer along the way, which kind of means that you could theme this in any year that you want to. I just think it's fun to, theme it in that noir kind of way, I think that's fun. This is a solo role-playing game with a twist. Rather than writing in the lines of a journal, all of your entries are recorded on dates of a planner as you catalog your travels across time. It's so cool. Okay, so I guess we should stop for a sec. I literally was reading this at work. I read that, and I was like, oh, yeah, I texted my partner. I was like, we gotta go to Marshall's or something. And thankfully, it's February, which means all the yearly planners were on sale. This bad boy had got put on sale twice. It was one of the only ones left, and I managed to get it. So we're going to be writing in this and destroying this bad boy over the course of this series. This is a yearly planner. So it starts in July 2025, kind of odd, and it runs all the way to December 2026. So we have years to work with. So the whole first part of this, the first 2025, really ain't gonna work for us, but we're gonna start in January. I might actually just rip those other pages out right here at the front. I might cut them out so we don't gotta flip through it every time. We're gonna do it over the course of 2026. I'm gonna get some scissors real quick, actually. Hold on. I plan to completely destroy this journal over the course of this, so we'll see how it goes. But I don't want to rip out pages and ruin the binding, so we're gonna scissor these out real quick. That's what she said. I'm struggling here. Just did a video on journaling and how to journal better, and here I am destroying a journal. Right. Okay, so our journal starts in January 2026, and it's going to go to December. This game takes place over the course of a year, so cool. Back to the rules. Here we go. Okay, in this game, you'll turn this planner into a record of your journeys through time and an artifact of your struggle against ECCO, with days cataloging your experience and those destroyed by the entity in equal measure. Your journey may diverge, loop back on itself, and at times cause great contradictions. Time is kind to no one. A single session of Project ECCO might take 1 to 2 hours, while a complete playthrough might take 3 to 5 sessions. Hence why we might be doing 3 to 5 sessions. Your journey will end after 6 encounters, either with the entity or the agency, as detailed further in the in-game section on page 13. A note on journaling. How and how much you want to write is up to you. You may choose to write from your perspective of your character or as a third-party narrator of the journey. You may write detailed descriptions or short bullet points. We'll see as we play. We'll see how it goes. I really have a goal this year to journal and scrapbook better. I even, this is a little bit of a sidetrack for me, but I even got a 2026 one-shot journal. I'm going to be one-shotting everything in. Those of you guys following the channel, you already know this. So I've got some stuff in there and I'm keeping everything in there. I want to learn how to journal better. Yes, that's my goal. All right, what do you need? The rule set, something to write with, a year planner. You need a coin to flip, heads or tails. This brings me to the next bit. I love coins. I love collecting coins. So I actually have a couple. I've had this one on my desk for a long time. I use it as a token, but it's Bardic Inspiration. You have received Bardic Inspiration. Go forth and do what you want. But this isn't double-sided, so it's got this dragon on here, but it's the same on both sides. So we needed a different coin today. Now I have a 50-cent piece I thought about using, but then I was looking through my old coin collection and I actually found this car wash one-use coin. It's got some erosion on there. I actually tried to wash it, couldn't get it off. So this is a no cash value car wash token. And I feel like it fits the theme a little bit, so that's what we're gonna be using. Then we need a D6, of course. We're gonna use a Grouch Couch Orange one. As you play Project ECCO, you may encounter the need for an additional D6, a deck of playing cards, a deck of tarot cards, an additional coin, a way to destroy the pages of your journal. We've already shown that we're good at that. A thick black marker and a pair of scissors. Very good, so we have all of those things. So you can see I have my solo RPG playing cards right here from Raven's Ridge. We have extra D6s in our box. We have our scissors. We're pretty much good to go. It also says a weekly planner is recommended, but you may opt for a day, week, or month format depending on how much you like to write for each prompt. A day will give you the most space, a month the least. And a week planner falls right between. Very good. A note on planner choice. You can use a fresh planner or a lightly used planner to play Project ECCO. If you opt for a used planner, let these plans and reminders feed into your gameplay. Have your agent react to them. You could also choose to use a digital planner. Oh, I didn't think about that. A desk wall calendar or something else that gives you a clear layout of an entire year with space to write associated specific dates. This may change the game in unexpected ways and is not recommended for a first playthrough. Cool. So we also have our safety stuff here. Certain prompts may take you in a direction you don't like, so always make sure to go in directions that you're comfortable with, right? Although we always try to keep it, light and good as best we can here, unless I'm doing a horror setting, which I will mention beforehand, so have no fear. Now, they also talk about your goals versus your character's goals, so it's like, don't think about winning in this game. Your goal is to discover and tell a story of your agent as they travel through time. These goals may also align throughout play, but they also may not. Let the story take you in directions where these goals diverge, right? So don't worry about winning or having your own personal goals in this, right? Very cool. How to travel through time. I like this layout. It's very cool. In this game, your agent finds different methods of time travel called devices. So in the beginning, we start with the watch. Very cool. If I can get props for all the devices, I will. We'll see how that goes. Each device works differently and comes with its own set of prompts. There are 7 devices available for your agent to use over the course of play. You begin your journey with the watch already in your inventory. The rest are waiting for you to discover. You may choose to travel with any of the devices in your inventory at any time. While you can use the same device over and over and over again, mixing it up will lead to more variety of play. To time travel, begin by choosing a device you currently have in your inventory. Turn to that device's page and follow the instructions at the top of the page. Determine the new date you are traveling to and corresponding prompt, then write your response on that date in the planner. Each device has a special group of prompts. Prompts may signify the length of your visit, but you may also decide it makes sense for your agent to stay there for more than a day. In these instances, feel free to carry your writings across multiple dates in the planner. There are special events, and I really wanted to print these out, as we could see in the back. So yeah, it uses a lot. It's very fun, very cool stuff. Let me see. These special events, I really wanted to print these out because I really wanted to glue them into the thing, but instead we might just, do what we can. We'll just write them in. But if you're gonna play this, print them out, you can cut them and scrapbook them into your little journal. That could be fun. But anyways, at times, a prompt will trigger a special event that requires you to flip to another page of this book for a prompt. These include device discovery, timeline divergence, agency headquarters, and entity encounters. Device discoveries: discover new devices, add them to your inventory on your character sheet. When you discover a new device, respond to its discovery prompt on the date you found it. This device is now available for you to use. Most planners have holidays marked in their pages. In Project ECCO, these are called dates of significance. When you flip to a date of significance, you may choose to consult the prompts on pages 56 to 59 to augment your response. Before playing, in order to set up your planner with all of these dates of significance, add the dates listed on pages 56 to 59 into your planner. There you will find some common US holidays, some dates specific to Project ECCO, and instructions for defining your own dates of significance. So let's check and see if our planner has these things real quick. I think the smart thing to do is let's check a date and then we'll cross-reference. So we have Groundhog Day, February 2nd. Is that in here? Monday, February 2nd. It's not. So I think to properly do this, we should probably go through and write them all down so we know. So I guess I'm gonna do that for us real quick. I'll be back. All right, so what I've done is I've gone through, I just put stars mostly next to the dates that have significance, just so we know, so we don't have to write it out, and then we'll reference back to the book whenever we have to. A fun thing in this book is also your own personal significance. So I put my birthday in there. There's also additional holidays if you want. I think that's nice. They include that. They're like, hey, if we forgot something, there you go. Bing, bang. All right, moving on. We have our end game. So it's represented by this. If we see the entity 6 times, or we go back to the agency 6 times, we win or lose the game. And we actually have our character sheet here, and it actually has this wheel down here. So we can actually fill it out as we go through. So that's pretty good. And I think actually I'm gonna go on ahead and just take this out now. And not only is it printed out like this, which is so cool, by the way, it's so nice of them to do this, but you could also, it's in the book itself, so you can copy it and print it out later. Cool little friggin' bookmark. You serious? That's awesome. All right, so repeat visits. You may find yourself on the same day you've previously traveled to. Things can get complicated when encountering yourself along the timeline. You may incorporate your previous writings into a repeat visit. However, each date has a maximum of 2 prompts you can respond to in it. If you find yourself landing on the date for a 3rd time, or if the date has no more room for new writings, you are expelled from time and must roll on the time divergence table on page 60. Important to remember. The consumption of time. Over the course of the game, some dates within your planner will be consumed or otherwise destroyed. You may choose to signify this in any way you see fit. Blacking out the day with a marker, scribbling over the day with your writing utensil, cutting out the day with scissors, tearing out the day. You may lose 2 days if you do that. If a device would land you on a previously consumed date, you must roll on the timeline divergence table and deal with the effects. Important to remember. Recommended, but optional. Rule for once you feel comfortable with the rules of play. If you want the entity's ongoing consumption to create more tension throughout your play, keep a timer running as you go. For every hour of real time, the entity consumes 2d6 days, and you must destroy these dates in your planner. That's kind of fun, more advanced play though. When directed to destroy 1 or more dates, this is your opportunity to embody the entity. Will you choose dates at random? Will you begin at the start of a year? Will you target dates the agent has traveled to? The choice is yours. I'll probably just flip through randomly. I think the plan, we'll see. Before we get started, it's time to create your agent. When you begin, you know the following upon arriving from your first jump. You are agent. We have 4 blanks there. Agent, blank, 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 blank. So, I mean, it only makes sense to make it Agent Turk. You know what I mean? Yeah. And, okay, I'm gonna be real. just for a second. Recently, I've been playing Dragonbane with Willy the Wizard, and there was a huge part of me that wanted to bring Willy the Wizard into all these one-shot games. Like Willy the Wizard traveling through time. And like next week, I'm gonna play Caught in the Rain, and Willy the Wizard doing a noir mystery. There's a huge part of me that wanted to do that, but I don't know. I was like, would it be too much to always have that character doing stuff? Let me know what you think. If you've watched Dragonbane or whatever, let me know what you think about that. It might also segregate some folks who don't know who Willy the Wizard is. Segregate? Separate? What is the word for that? Separate audiences. What is it? What is the name? I don't know what the name for that is. Anyways, so we're going with Agent Turk is my point. Turk, cool. We must have our coin. Gotta find a good place to set this on camera, and we'll leave the zoom in a sec. Okay. You work for the agency. You have some time. You are highly trained. You have for some time. You are highly trained and have prepared for this sort of mission. You have no memory of a life before the agency. There is a coin in your pocket. It feels familiar when you run your fingers over it. This is your coin. Your last defense against the instability of time travel. Do not lose it. It's fun. And that's why I wanted it to be like a weird coin, you know what I mean? So it has some kind of significance, like the car wash coin, you know? There's a package waiting for you. You arrive knowing its exact location. It is conspicuously placed but hidden to all those trained by the agency. Your goal, track the entity, document its effects on time and space, and you should figure out how to save time itself. Make note of your agent number on your character sheet as shown on the back inside cover. Make a note of your character number, your agent's number. What is our agent's number? Back inside cover. Didn't understand that. That's okay, moving on. Don't forget your coin. Every agent has a coin. The humble coin serves as the final defense against the timeline divergence, referred to commonly among agents as the time storm, or simply time hell. Place your coin on the coin space on your character sheet. Whenever represented with options labeled H, heads, or T, tails, flip your coin and respond to the corresponding prompt. Some events in this game may make you lose your coin. When this happens, set your coin aside, revealing the lost coin symbol on your character sheet. If you have lost your coin and are presented with a coin prompt, you face timeline divergence. Whenever you face timeline divergence, flip to page 60 and roll on the table, unless a more specific direction is provided as in the in-game section. Cool. Look at that art there. That's very cool. Very cool. Let's begin. Yes. All right. Tutorial over. Welcome to game beginning time, everybody. There are going to be some prompts in here that we may run into. All right. There's a lot of prompts though. So if you plan on playing this yourself, I don't think you have anything to worry about spoiler wise. I always like to mention that if there are specific games that only have one ending. This one has a lot of endings, I think, so I don't think you have anything to worry about. But if you are worried about seeing some of the prompts that we're going to run into, you could skip to the end of today's video to hear my thoughts, all right? Yes. Open your planner to the current real-world day. If using a planner other than the current year, start with January 5th. On this day, answer the first prompt. So, current real-world day. As I'm recording this, February 9th. Where are you? What are the sounds, smells, sights, and sensations you notice first? Where do you find your package from the agency? Consider the year you are traveling within. Are you in a city, a village? Is this a version of the world similar to your own in a different way? We're in a noir world, I'm gonna say. You know, people in old-timey cars wearing top hats and suits and what have you. I think that would be pretty fantastic. It's gonna be a loose theme that we're gonna do though, actually, so, you know, is what it is. The package contains the following: a letter from the director, 0214, the standard issue time machine, the watch, a field planner, and enough time, appropriate currency to get around. Once you've answered your first prompt in your planner, turn to your watch device on page 22 and begin your journey. If you're playing multiple sessions, return here and do it again. Gotcha. So before we time travel, what are our first thoughts here on February 9th? Here we are in our office. February 9th, the start of the end. I returned to my office after lunch and found a message from Director 0214. The box was hidden, but I knew right where it was for some reason. It's time to travel and stop ECCO. I know I must do this, and I know how. How do I know how? I don't know. All right, very good. Our first day. All right, so we're going to go to page 22 and begin our journey. The watch. Here we are. Very cool. The standard issue Agassi time machine looks like a wristwatch with a spinnable outer rim, but it has no discernible way to tell time. Limited time travel capabilities, but good for a basic jump. To travel with the watch, roll 1d6 and use the result to modify the current month or day. Add or subtract and travel to the resulting new date. Consult the following prompts based on the result that you roll. Okay, let's roll us a d6 and let's see what happened. D6. 3. Roll, I'm gonna read this again because I didn't understand the first time. 1d6 and use the result to modify the current month or day. I thought it was just a roll chart, that's my bad. And travel to the resulting new date. Consult the following prompts based on the result of the roll. So can I do 2d6? Because if we get a 3, like I just rolled, we could go 3 months forward to May 9th. But we could just go 3 days forward. Are these just choices that we make? I think they might be. Maybe the watch is supposed to be limited to days. Because the skimmer uses 2d6. You flip that many pages in your planner. And the briefcase says month and day. Okay, so we're just going to call this days then. We're going to go 3 days forward. 1, 2, 3 to Thursday, February 12th. Now, a prompt on the 3 is, there lies a victim, surrounded by loved ones. What about them has been changed, taken, or controlled? Very interesting. Okay, well, let's write it out. Okay, here's what we got. Using my brain power a little bit here. February, Thursday the 12th. The victim. I used my watch. It sent me 3 days forward. I went to get lunch, and in my favorite diner, a victim lay on the ground. No signs of how they died. They just were dead. No one else even noticed. Must be ECCO. A clue? I must continue. I love the idea of me, the agent, just going to get lunch every day. Like going to get pie or something. And like their favorite diner, you know, like a blueberry pie or something. They're just like obsessed with it. It's the only thing they know. Because my agent has no other memories, you know? I know my name and I know that I like pie. That's where we're at. All right, so I say we roll again. 4. We're going, do we want to go months forward or days? I think we keep with the watch, we just keep going days. I think is what we're going to do. So 4 days forward. 1, 2, 3. We almost got Valentine's Day. 4. And our prompt is, there is a device, a new way to travel through time. Flip to device discovery on page 20 and roll for a new device. So before we even write, first I'm going to put up here, device found. I'm going to like name each one of the days. And if I go to that day again, I'm going to put a second title on it. All right, page 20, is that what it said? Yeah. Huh? Oh, device discovery. I read this side, but I didn't read this side when I did it earlier. Cool. Well, you know what? Good that I did, because it, you know, keeps a little bit of a mystery for me. So we've got a D6 here. What do we find? Oh, not in the box. Let's do this one then. Oh, not in the box. Okay, all right. 2, the skimmer. Do this in pen. Discovery prompt. When you come across the package containing the skimmer, a message from Director 0214 appears embedded in a sign, a menu, a newscast, or from the mouth of a passerby. Things are getting worse. What warning does the message contain? In a menu? Yeah, I love that. Okay, let's write it out. February, Monday the 16th. Device found. The skimmer. My watch sent me 4 days forward. I returned to the diner to look for signs. On the menu were my favorite piece of pie slices. Instead, printed in the menu was a message. Someone knew I was going to be ordering pie this day. This message led me to the skimmer, a package hidden in the bathroom of the diner. My first thought was, help so soon? Already from the agency? Things must be getting worse and fast. Or things have already gotten worse in the past. The future past. I'm improvising now. I'm saying more than I write down. It's true. All right, but that ends our day. So now we can go to the skimmer. What does the skimmer got going on over here? We have the watch. We have the skimmer. A small handheld device with a blank screen. Dizzying patterns dance across a pixelated display as you slide your finger over the single scroll wheel below the screen. The skimmer is agency tech that leverages the rotation of the Earth, long retired due to the side effects on the agent's body. When using the skimmer, roll 2d6 and add together the results. Flip that many pages in your planner and pick a date on that page as the date you travel to. Use the results and consult the matching prompt. Very cool. Very cool. All right, we got our 2d6 now. So where are we off to? We're in the bathroom. We use the skimmer. 6 pages. 1. There's these like month ones in here too. When we're skipping pages, I'm not gonna count them. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, not counting them. 6. And pick a date on the page as the date you travel to. Okay, this one has a star, Wednesday, April 1st, which means it's a holiday. Let's experience one of those. So before we do that, actually let's do that first. We'll go to our day. It's April 1st. You find the corpse of Agent 0401 in addition or in connection to your other findings on this day. What? Okay, and we also got a 6. From behind closed doors, the agency exerts control. Who have they replaced? Oh, like a person? Like someone working at the diner? My whole story is in this one diner? Interesting. And we find a body. Okay, interesting. Agency power. Let's write it out. April 1st, Wednesday. Agency power. I use the skimmer. for the first time. I don't know how many days forward it sent me, but when I arrived back at the diner, my favorite waitress, she has been replaced by an agent. What did they do to her? Questioning Agent 0401 about what happened. It led to a confrontation. This led to me killing Agent 0401. Still, where is my favorite waitress? What was her name? I don't even remember it. I must escape this body. Time to time jump. And that ends our day. Confrontation between the agency. I'm like, let's go back over here. I'm like 0401, right? Like, maybe they were like a brown noser. Are we a brown noser in the agency? Maybe we're questioning the agency. You know what I mean? Maybe Project ECCO. ECCO maybe was created by the agency. We don't know, right? Anyways, I like using the skimmer because we can go more days forward. And I think if we hit December, maybe then we'll say we go back in time and we start back through the year again. So like we just keep going forward, but once we end 2026, then we start back at the beginning of 2026 and keep going. You know what I mean? So maybe we just keep going forward. My rule might change. I don't know. I also don't think that counts as an agency encounter for our end game. I think you actually literally go to the agency when that happens. Right. So 2d6. Here we go. 7. Let's do our pages first. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Friday the 15th. Do we risk another holiday? What holiday is Friday? The 15th of May. What is that? I think that's fun. It gives us extra stuff. So let's do the 15th of February. And see how I put stars so it leaves it like a mystery for me? That's fun. Okay, May 15th, Father's Day. A very good dog begins to follow you around. Oh, what? Sick, dude. The name tag reads Fisher. How long do they stay with you during your travels? Oh, man, sick. All right, what is 7? From somewhere unexpected, you find a new way to travel. Flip to device discovery. So we get a dog and a new device? Sick. Okay, before we can prompt out anymore, we need to discover a new device. Let's go. 4. The temporal spread. Oh man, I think this is the tarot cards. As you pass a pile of rubble, you feel compelled to stop and shift through the wreckage. Underneath, you find a deck of tarot cards, somehow still intact. What feeling drew you toward this deck? What did the rubble here belong to? Interesting. Fisher. Do we know Fisher? We could ask some yes or no questions. You know what I mean? This game doesn't prompt you to. Did we know? Like, was Fisher an agent who was transformed into a dog? Maybe Fisher was a pet of a different agent. No, we've gone too far forward. I was like, what if Fisher was 0401's dog? Okay, well, we have thoughts. Let's write it out. I'm wishing now that I would have got a diner background instead of this office. Maybe episode 2, we're going to do a diner background. Either way, here's our next day. May 15th, Friday. The seasons has changed. I believe it's Father's Day. Who was my father? Did I even have a father? Either way, I'm months forward thanks to the skimmer. I was around back at the diner trying to stay low because of what happened last time. When a dog, its name tag says that his name is Fisher. This dog dug tarot cards out of the trash and brought them to me. These aren't agency regulated, I don't think. How did the dog know where these were? How did he know that they were a time travel device? Either way, I like this dog. We're gonna stick together for a while. Cool. So let's double check. These are the temporal spread on page 45. I think these are the tarot cards. I hope so, because that's what I wrote down. The temporal spread. Yes. A weathered deck of tarot cards. When looking from the corner of your eye, it appears to flicker in and out of existence. No one at the agency has mentioned such an object. I guessed right. Sick. Even from this world, if you put your ear close, you can hear the whispering of many layered voices. Some of them sound familiar. To travel using the temporal spread, shuffle the deck of tarot cards and draw 3 cards and lay them face up in a row. Choose 1 card. The left card is the past, allows you to move a number of days into the past up to the card's value. For example, a 9 of Wands allows you to move from 1 to 9 days in the past. The center card represents the present. Choose this card to move to any day you've previously visited. The right card represents the future. Choose this card to move up to that many days into the future. For example, a 3 of Clubs allows you to move from 1 to 3 days into the future. Once you have traveled with your chosen card, use that card and consult the following tables to determine the prompt for that day. Prompts for the temporal spread do not offer specific questions. Instead, much like tarot cards themselves, the prompts are open to interpretation. Expand upon them in whatever direction best serves your story. After you have responded to the prompt, return 3 cards back to the deck. Cool. You have minor and major arcana. Yeah, so what happens if we get a major arcana? We want to pick that one. Oh, they're numbered. Cool. Cool. All right, we got to get our tarot cards out. Sick. It's definitely weird how many things I've just gotten when I've gotten into the solo RPG hobby, you know. This is the Daydream Tarot deck. There will be a link in description if you want to get them for yourself. They're really cool. I like them because they also provide like prompts for visually like prompts, you know what I mean? They're just kind of like fun. I don't know. I like them a lot. I don't like themed tarot decks. They got like Game of Thrones and other kinds of stuff out there. I wish there was an actual tarot deck for the deck of many things, you know what I mean? But there's a deck of many things tarot, you know, whatever. You know what I mean? You couldn't get that and pull the Four of Pentacles, if you know what I mean. Okay, so we're gonna use this now because we're just gonna keep using these new devices. And we shuffle. Okay, a 1, a 2, a 3. Very good. And we get to just choose. We flip all 3 of them and then we just choose. It might be fun to only flip one and kind of choose, like, do I want to go past, future, or present? And then like you have to flip that card and then, you know, decide. So you don't get to flip all 3 of them. That's interesting. I want to keep moving forward into the future because I want to fill out as much as we can before we start revisiting days. Because it's fun to me to be like, we have knowledge now. We know what's going on. So now when we go into the past, we can kind of flesh out things a little bit better. You know, I think that's fun. So we're just going to flip the future card. That's what we're going to do here. This is the 5 of Wands. Okay, so we gotta choose. Oh, so we're gonna go 5 days into the future. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wednesday, May 20th. All right, Wands is your timeline. It's very cool art. That's so sick. It is upright. Your timeline 5. A struggle against inevitable change. A struggle against inevitable change. That's pretty, not a lot to go on there. So we'll put the change. What if it deals with the diner? The diner's changing? Oh man, that's funny. Okay, let's write it out. Kind of a joke day. I couldn't figure out exactly what to put, so here's what we've got. May, Wednesday, the 20th. The change. A new device. 5 whole days. So much has changed. ECCO has begun to change the diner. My favorite pie? Now? It's pecan. I hate pecans. Fisher likes it though. I must stop ECCO before it changes anything else about my favorite place. That's it. Very good. Did ECCO even change it to pecan? Maybe they just wanted to try a different pie this day. The pie of the day is no longer blueberry. This is bullshit. That's funny. Okay, let's do the tarot again. To do a couple more days, and then maybe we'll go back to the skimmer. We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. A 1, a 2, a 3. That works. We're going to the future, so we're just gonna flip this one. The Queen of Wands. Again, it does deal with my timeline, right? So, the diner makes sense to me that it's my timeline. Okay, what is the Queen? Queen, it's crazy how we've been doing 2 days with each device, and on the second day, somehow we found a new device. Every time. Because look here, Queen, 13, which is 13 days, by the way. A cryptic and valuable finding. Flip to device discovery on page 20. What the heck? Okay, so first of all, 13 days. That brings us to June 2nd, device discovery. Okay, a cryptic and valuable finding. All right, D6 time. That's a 4, we already have that. That's a 1, we already have that. 6, the bell. Discovery prompt. A monument to the entity. Architectural angles collide in an ever-changing fractalization that no human mind could imagine. No human hands could craft. Inside, you are presented with the bell. What must you sacrifice to enter? Oh. First, I want to read about the bell, because maybe it'll help our stuff. What page is the bell? It doesn't say. Oh, page 52. Okay. It does say, Turkey. What are we on about? A small handheld bell. When rung, the reverberations carry across space and time. The rhythms of your body align to its harmonics with each use. The timeline and your sense of self are eroded. The bell calls the entity to a specific date. To use the bell, destroy this date within your planner by any means you see fit. Blackout, cut, tear. In exchange for the sacrifice, the entity grants you brief access to its powers. You may choose any prompt from any device page, including from those not in your inventory, and respond to it, traveling to a new date as if you had used that device. But first, you must consult the following prompts based on the number of times you've used the bell. Once you have discovered this device, track how many times you use it on your character sheet in the notes section with checkboxes as below. So we can use this to go to exact dates, and the bell calls the entity to a specific date. To use the bell, destroy the date. In exchange for the sacrifice, the entity grants you access to its powers over time. So we could use the bell to what, like attune with the entity to become it? There's 6 spots on the bell here. That's interesting. I don't even know if I want to use it. Not yet, anyway. Not until we know more. We need to learn more before we just start going to specific dates and calling the entity to specific dates. You know what I mean? We still have so much more to learn. What do we have? We have a dog and some tarot cards? Sheesh. Okay. The bell seems very powerful and very game-changing. do one of those. We're gonna write this out real quick. Okay, here's what I've got. June 2nd, Tuesday. Device discovery. The portal. Arriving at this day, everything was wrong. I can't explain it. Nothing was right. There's no way that I could possibly explain to you everything that was wrong and the way that it is wrong. But there was a portal. I stuck my hand in it. I sacrificed my sense of taste and pulled out a bell. Should I use it? That's the whole thing. Sense of taste. So like no more pie for my man. He can't eat pie no more. It's funny. All right, and it just seems crazy to me. I understand like wanting to call the entity to a specific date to be able to destroy it, right? And then as it says here, we'll just read the first one. I'm not gonna read all of them, but it alters my shadow. What inhuman quality has it taken on? How does it interfere to help you? How does it interfere or help you as you carry on? So you could like sacrifice your shadow to get something else to be able to use the entity's powers. You know what I mean? So we aren't calling upon the entity to take it out. We're calling upon it to use its powers. And I just don't think that's the way, you know? We're a normal guy who likes pie and wants to save the world. So we still have some more devices to discover. And I really like the Arcana cards here of the tarot, so we're gonna use those again. But I also need to remember to write these things down because we have the watch, skimmer, the tarot, and the bell. And you could put the page numbers so you don't gotta go back and forth, but it isn't a lot of pages, so I'm not really bothered by it. Okay, we're only in June. We're halfway through the year. All right, we're gonna go forward again and flip it. It's upside down. 5 of Wands. I must not have shuffled very well. Let's pull again. There we go. 10 of Wands. That's what I'm talking about. So that's 10 days forward. 12th. Wands again is our timeline. It's upside down. So upright is a beautiful ending. Reverse is a terrible beginning. Terrible beginning? To what? Terrible beginning. All right, here we go. June 12th, Friday. A terrible beginning. 10 days forward. The diner is back to normal, I think? What is normal, anyway? Either way, I ordered something new, and I couldn't taste it. So, Fisher got it. My favorite waitress is back, but she was rude to me for some reason. What did I do to her? I must save this place and end ECCO before it's too late. Simple, yet effective. Basically laying a seed for whenever we come back around this way, we might know a little bit more. We were rude to the waitress at some point, right? In the past couple months. We've laid a seed for that. That's important. Okay, but here's the deal, everybody. I'm feeling creatively drained, right? So what that means is that I'm going to leave this episode here. I plan to come back and play more Project ECCO. I'm going to do maybe 2 or 3 episodes of this, I think, right? So make sure to leave a like so you don't miss it. If you have thoughts or ideas or suggestions, leave them in the comments below because I like all of my stories as best that I can to be collaborative storytelling, right? So if you have an idea, like a name for the waitress, maybe something else. Do you want maybe something of yours to get included in the story best that I can? Go on ahead and leave it in the comments below. And let me know what you think of this game because it's very involved and very cool, right? It takes a lot of creative imagination though. And I think that's why I feel a little bit drained because single sentences are hard to build full scenes on, right? But I think as time goes on, I'm hoping that we'll be able to fill out more because right now we don't have a lot to go off of, right? I'm just like clinging to this diner. But I think actually I'm cool with it because it kind of grounds the story, gives us a home base, and we could actually like relatively start changing things in the diner as time goes on or whatever. And I think that that's fun. Anyways, if you skipped to this part of the video because you did not want to get any spoilers, all right, about Project ECCO, this game is fantastic. Over the course of our gameplay today, not only did we use dice, but we used tarot cards. We haven't used our coin yet, but I can already see that coming into play. The prompts are kind of short, like I said, and it requires, I think, creativity and imagination to play this. But this has the potential to be an amazing campaign if you take it super seriously and actually like fill things out and go on like full journaling exploits of it. This could be something friggin' amazing, right? We're doing kind of like a comedy time travel thing here, and I think that that's cool. But if you haven't played this game and you like time travel and solo, this is an easy buy, an easy pickup, yeah? So use links in description to get it if you want it. If you disagree with me, let me know in comments below. Yes? Cool. That's that, my friends. Hopefully next week we'll run back episode 2. If not, it'll be the week after that. So make sure to like, so when it does go up, YouTube might recommend it to you. I don't know how the algorithm works. Look at me. Do I look like I know? I don't know. Sick. Cool. Thank you guys so much. I have been Turk from the Grouch Couch. Take a seat on the couch by subscribing, at least for a little while, or until you find yourself time traveling through a diner yourself. Roll on that, weirdos, and I'll see you next time. A toodaloo. Yeah.
Subscribe, just like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe, just like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe, like, share,